Welcome back, everybody, to the Summit for China qualifiers. This is our very last game of the China qualifier. It all comes down to this for these two teams. LGD Gaming versus EHOME. We've made it all the way to Game 5. We're all tied up 2-2, and only one team can qualify. The other is going to be going home empty-handed. So for this all-important game, it's my pleasure to welcome back Winter to the cast, and let's get straight into it. Winter, buddy? Hello?
Sorry, I was muted. Oops.
That's alright, yeah. I fell a little bit flat on my face there, but that's all good. I'm just excited for the game. I hope you are as well. We're going to have a bit of a mix-up here. EHOME get rid of the Darkseer this time. LGD are going to be the ones who end up taking the Tusk. And EHOME do get their hands on their Queen of Pain, so completely different combination, even compared to the 4 games that we've already seen this series. But what stands out to you?
10 seconds remaiing.
Those two heroes might be both of their supports though. I've seen them run Tusk and Ice Stalker as both their supports. MMY should be the one to play the Tusk if they do it. And DDC usually plays the NS all the time. He exclusively plays the NS.
Yeah, I don't think I've seen LGD run anybody else on the next
on NS, right?
Yeah.
Oh, they're banning the Bristol back again though. It's very strange. I think maybe they feel like it's very hard to deal with the Bristol back when Old Chicken played it in the mid lane in the first game, I think, or the second game.
Turn to ban.
Yeah, I did find that a little bit curious. The mid lane matchups so far this series have actually been a little bit non-standard, at least in some of the games. I think a lot of it comes down to the fact that cdec.y plays a lot of Queen of Pain on the safe lane, and so they sometimes get the quap through, but it doesn't necessarily always go mid, and so we end up with these Tusk versus Tiny kind of a deal. But I guess the other thing is that both teams have been putting quite a bit of pressure on the mid lane in the draft. We've seen Wyverns, we've seen Bounty Hunter bans. Both teams have really been putting a lot of emphasis.
You know, Bane running to the middle lane, getting Brain Slap at level 1. It's never like a 1v1 lane anymore right now.
Yeah, and mid lane has changed in a bunch of other ways as well. Like, harassment means less. Even with the bottle nerfs, it still feels like it's much less about building up a little bit of a lead, and mid has become a very farmy lane in general. Lots of just flash farming heroes, and we're seeing a lot of sort of full duo core lineups these days. Where we used to occasionally see a utility hero on the mid. But that's kind of ancient history, and this game right here now is...
They're taking so much time though. Maybe they're thinking of banning like the A. I think both the teams like to pick A, and when EHOME has Clockwork, there's a very good chance they might also want to go for the AA pick. And it also depends on what LGD want as their course. If you want to pick something that has a lot of heal, then it's obviously better to ban the A.
I think the one thing that would give you pause a little bit if you're LGD considering banning the Ancient Apparition is that you look over at the EHOME bans and you see the Dazzle and you see the Wyvern.
Oh yeah,
and if they were aiming for the Ancient Apparition, I feel like they would be a little bit less likely to ban those two heroes.
Yep, true.
So
that's a good point.
Yeah, I think LGD from that perspective just decided to ban a core. I wouldn't have minded seeing a support ban in that position, especially given that EHOME have already grabbed 2 cores right in the first 2, and LGD aren't really lacking for supports at the moment, given that the Night Stalker is already going to be guaranteed one of the supports. But I guess there isn't anyone that's like 100% must ban in that support slot, so they may as well just get rid of a core that they're a little bit afraid of. So, makes sense.
Yeah, I agree. It makes sense. So LGD is going to show that the Tusk is their off lane by having the Disruptor there. It's a good catch versus the Queen. Oh, they show all their cores right away. So Dragon Knight, Clock, and Queen of Pain. They're looking to play a very fast-paced game with these 3 heroes. Get a pick off, get a tower with Dragon Knight. Clockwork initiates, and Queen of Pain will be there to help stabilize the other 2 lanes. Because Clockwork and Dragon Knight is not heroes that can win the lane that easily. So Queen of Pain will be there for them to play aggressively, so she TPs in to actually help them win their lanes when she has level 6.
10 seconds remaining.
I kind of like the relative safety of the 5 manning as
5
well,
seconds
potentially for
remaining.
EHOME here, since you kind of prevent you take a little bit of the edge
Reserve
off
time.
of the Tusk and the Night Stalker running around. The
The
faster that
pick-off,
you can
yeah.
group up, the safer you're gonna be from that
Yeah,
perspective.
you're technically avoiding all the pickoffs that might happen if you're not grouping up together. So I like the idea that EHOME are utilizing this game against the NS and TUS, which is, I think it's
10
a fair idea
seconds
against
remaining.
NS and TUS. Because they are looking to aim and pick off a lot of heroes
5
if
seconds
they
remaining.
find them, and EHOME just wants to avoid that by grouping up.
EHOME's turn to pick.
Okay, so
Oh, that was okay. The 5-man is real.
LGD's
they're
turn to ban.
they're just going for it right now. But I mean, LGD didn't do anything to deter them with that pick. They didn't pick up any counter push. It's not a Lina. It's not a Windrunner. There's no spam.
I mean, Tiny is
10
okay against. We
seconds
saw
remaining.
Secret actually doing it at Nanyang, where they had they had 0 D
5
push. They
seconds
just had a
remaining.
Tiny running around killing the opponent's heroes that wanted to group up and push. So he was
EHOME's
constantly
turn to
there was
bat.
Tiny and BH in that game. So they were constantly finding pickups
LGD's turn
to slow
to
down
pick.
the push instead of picking a hero that has D push.
Yeah. So we'll just have to see if that's going to be successful. Winter, I guess that's the question.
They probably need a Sylar hero. I guess Tiny should be probably going mid.
In that case,
10
trying to
seconds
think.
They
remaining.
need a hero that can fight. Any hero that can fight early is just nice.
5 seconds
yeah,
remaining.
I think the Jug ban was very heads up from
Yeah.
EHOME.
Brave
That's
King,
it.
maybe. Oh, okay. Klings is also good
EHOME's
because you can
turn
fight
to
early.
pick.
And the other thing the Klings might provide for the team is you can find the pick off to disallow EHOME to push or delay the push essentially. Because Klings you just need level 6 and you're running around trying to get a kill. So every kill you get is gonna slow down the push.
Yeah, and they can send multiple gank squads as well if you're LGD here. The Tusk and the Night Stalker can be off looking for somebody in one lane, and then as soon as you feel safe in another lane,
Wow.
oh, I see the Tusk and the Night Stalker, then the Tiny comes in and picks up a kill. But
This
this is
very
Ultra
interesting.
5-man from EHOME as they grab this abandon.
It's a hero that Klings cannot pick off alone, Tiny cannot pick off you alone as well, and you are going to be able to remove the silence from Night Stalker, keep everyone alive. Because if you look at how LGD is going to try and start the fights, they're going to put a lot of emphasis in snowballing and picking off a singular target, and Klings will focus that hero down, so Abaddon would actually discourage that a lot, because he's very good at keeping a person that's under fire alive very well.
Yeah,
So
it
in
help-
that sense, the pick might actually work out very well this game.
yeah, I think it really helps to keep the Queen of Pain
10
sort of
seconds
safe,
remaining.
especially like you were saying against the Night Stalker silence. But even just that little bit of HP
5
can go
seconds
a
remaining.
long way to being able to get a blink away, and can mean that you can go for a slightly more aggressive build on the whole. And Dragonite is actually pretty scary with some backup
Abaddon.
from Abaddon.
Yeah.
He's just going to be on the front lines, and Old Chicken is going to soak up everything if they don't
Prepare
manage
for
to
battle.
sort of get towards the back lines and find the pickoffs on the squishier heroes, because even if they gank him a whole bunch, I feel like Dragonite is he's just a rock in lane. Like, even if you gank him, he's still going to spam breathe fire, he's still going to get a little bit of farm. He's inevitably going to take a tier 1 tower at some point, and that's going to be his treads, and he just kind of goes from there. But LGD looking to start this game on an aggressive note. We're going to smoke up and run straight into the Radiant jungle, hoping to find something to start this game. Could be a 5-man snowball,
you know,
could be anything.
This stuff, all this sort of 5-man smoke early usually happens in game 5.
cdec.y is going to be the one revealed.
Also-
Has the blink. They force it out, but it's going to be it. If the Disruptor had
It
gotten
was
closer,
kinda-
he might have
kinda
been able to
difficult.
start a glimpse, and that could have been
30
been
seconds
dangerous.
to battle.
Yeah, it was really difficult for them to get that kill. That was the last hero they wanted to run into. But you could see the idea, right? There's 2 reasons why they started off with this, because they wanted to, number 1 was obviously trying to get a first bird early to get momentum, and secondly they wanted to ward the camp so Shaman can't really pull and get a lot of experience.
11, really nice cog block. I don't think this is going to last quite long enough, though. A little bit early, and that means LGD can run forward onto the route anyway. Good dispel from Lamb, but looks like 11's still in a little bit of trouble. But that little bit of extra health from the Aphotic Shield is going to be enough. Meanwhile, bottom lane, cdec.y looks like he went blinking in for the rune, and RTK almost gives him a very hard time, but Shackle comes out of Kaka. The right click's coming out. There's actually another blink from cdec.y, and he's gonna jump up and grab the first blood.
He got the rune, right? Yeah, he got the
Yep.
rune. Rune plus first blood.
I think he just
And
caught
we see
RTK by surprise.
Yeah, maybe they were dueling off and trying to fight for the rune. And then, support came in from Kaka and RTK was screwed. But this is an very unusual dueling. Clockwork plus Abaddon. We usually see Abaddon plus Centaur, Abaddon plus Weaver, but not with Clockwork.
Yeah, this is very strange. The LGD dual lane is not the strongest. I don't want to underestimate the harassment potential of Thunderstrike though. The level 1 Thunderstrike these days is just crazy. But
It is a lot of damage. It is what, 160?
Yeah.
No. Was it 140? Oh yeah, 160.
it's a lot. But there's still got a decent amount of regen here between the two of them, so doing alright. Putting a bit of pressure on the Clinx's farm, but I don't think he's too concerned. Meanwhile, the other dual lane is RTK and DDC. cdec.y giving them a little bit of a hard time. Copping some harassment back the other way. There is a Shackle available from Kaka. cdec.y has a Sting and a Scream. There's no Snowball. It's actually only level 1 for RTK. And he's going to be going down for the second time this game. Not a great start.
Lanes is not looking too good for LGD.
And
They're getting
Shaman
pressured a
managed
lot.
to deward the pull as well.
Oh yeah, okay, didn't notice that. That is really crucial for him. Because they want to get the stage where Dragon Knight has ultimate, Shaman has level 6, and they just group up and keep pushing. So being allowed to pull your cam is so important as a Shaman. But on
He
DDC,
wanted the rune, but I think he's dead. Yep. He's gone. That's another kill for cdec.y. These two on bottom lane have just been going off. And well, Lamb comes running in mid. Did not have an Aphotic Shield, so it's not going to proc when he drops the Miscoil, but almost enough to bring down maybe there. And that would have been a 4th kill going EHOME's way. They know that 11 is alone on top lane, but can't really do anything. He's actually going to come running after MMY with 2 points up in the battery assault. He's going to force out the glimpse. MMY also very low, so probably just needs to head back to base at this stage.
my god, did he forget his boots on the ground? He left his boots on the ground. Maybe he forgot about his boots. Okay, no. I thought he forgot about his boots. He left it on the tower.
Radiant's
that's a
bottom
little
tower
weird,
is
but-
under attack.
Oh, well, okay.
He
DDC
picked it up
boots.
like quite a while. It took him a while to pick the boots up.
Oh, they are going to get the toss back. DDC ready with the Void. Some good damage coming out of the old chicken. He's pretty tanky. If he can find a space in between these auto attacks, he is going to be able to bottle up a little bit. There's another toss. And he just wants to get in range for that and he'll be able to get it off. Another Void as well.
My god,
No
the
more bottle
tankiness of this
sips.
hero.
Old chicken is so tanky and he's still looping around. One more Void would do it, but there isn't actually any mana. There isn't a mana for toss either. And old chicken manages to survive. Tusk's gonna come in and finish him with the ice shards. He's gonna get intercepted by Kaka. Looks like he's gonna go for that kill instead. RTK just laying into him. There is a Shackle, but cdec.y isn't making his way over. It looks like Kaka's calling for help, and cdec.y will finally leave the lane, at least duck into fog. Gives RTK enough reason to worry, but not gonna get that kill. I think he could have tried for it, but he's just so worried that the Queen of Pain's gonna come and kill him again.
Yeah, but he doesn't have boots, and Shaman has boots though. I think it's very unlikely he gets that kill.
Oh,
the blinking!
They've brought more this time around. cdec.y might be in some trouble. Avalanche completely whiffs, however, and cdec.y is just going to be able to keep on running. He's got bottle sips, gets the Scream. That's going to kill the mid-air Night Stalker coming through. One more auto attack from Kaka finds
my
that
god.
kill, and now Old Chicken comes running in with the Dragon Tail. Absolute disaster for LGD. RTK, the best that he can hope for is a denied Roche, but
These
won't
two
even
heroes,
get
the
that.
Shaman and the Queen of Pain, is literally winning the game by themselves.
They haven't even really needed the Abaddon or the Clockwork to do anything so far. And 11 sees that Sylar's a little bit low on mana, is going to turn on the Battery Assault, but won't be able to close the gap, but MMY's in the neighborhood as well, so nothing more to come of that. Old Chicken not going to get tossed back mid. RTK not quite in position. There is a Radiant Ward on the hill here as well, so Old Chicken now knows that they're looking for the toss back onto the Tusk and shouldn't be caught out. Unless he wants to be, in which case they can turn around with Lamb.
You get nothing.
Just keeping the Dragon Knight nice and safe.
But at least good news for LGD is the Klinks is still farming very well. If you compare his farm to the Queen of Pain, he has so much more CS in terms of comparison towards the Queen.
Yeah. So how
Because Queen has
early do you
been
want to
running
see,
around.
How early do you want to see Sylar move this game? Is it just treads, Aquila, Soul Ring, and just go, or
Yeah.
even earlier than that?
Yeah. No, I think that's the time where you should be going when you're level 6. And when you're level 6, you should have those items. Maybe even Brown Boots and Aquila and Soul Ring.
God, cty taking this early lead and running with it. Drops the Sonic Wave on the DDC bottom. And just picks
I
up
wonder if he's actually gonna build use this game first. Sometimes he does go for the use rush. Against these heroes, it's fairly decent. You can remove the silence.
Have a toss, but Old Chicken's tanky and he's got Lamb at his side to keep pumping in the heals. Another miscall coming up soon, and now 11 arrives. Maybe just needs to try and find an escape. RTK does not have enough mana to provide a shards block.
Oh,
Is
Tranquil
just
Boots
barely going to
activated.
get it out. Oh, but maybe in some big trouble. cty arrives with a haster, does manage to get the avalanche off. Just needs to be right clicks to finish this one. Salve attempted. 11 really wants to go deep for this kill. Might have been a dive too far. cty does not have enough mana for a blink and a scream. Needed to bottle up a little bit more. They're getting glimpse back as well. LGD finding a foothold as they will get their first 2 kills of the game here. cty runs in. Bunch of low heroes on LGD, but nobody dead.
Yeah, the Clockwork just committed way too heavily for that. I mean, I think that was the point where he wished he was actually getting more points in the rocket instead of the battery. Then he would have been able to finish the kill off.
Yeah, RTK's onto something with the always max rocket flare build. I think
Oh
this
yeah,
is a
yeah,
good
that
build,
dude,
but
that dude always maxes the rocket regardless of situation.
no matter what. I have seen RTK in lanes where I'm convinced that he could get, you know, a solo kill, but he's a lover of the rocket flare. But I think it makes sense for 11. He had the Abaddon backup, and it's just a disruptor, so potentially you can get easy kills. But,
It's a draw. It's like a
trade-off.
It's like a drawback when you do this build. You might get a kill in the lane, but then when something like this happens, you don't have the points in rocket flare to secure the kill. Trade-off. Can't get everything.
LGD, 2-man smoke, RTK, and maybe both rotating down, looking for something. They're going to see the pull happening, and kind of hoping that the Shadow Shaman was going to keep on going, but Kaka, he's suspicious. He doesn't see nearly enough heroes on the map for him to follow that pull through. And good decision too, because
Radiant's bottom
there were 2
tower
smoked
is under
heroes looking
attack.
for him.
Yeah, and Syla is starting to be active. His level 7 has Treads and Soaring. Just got a creep. So wants to get a kill.
Coming on Old Chicken, they've got a lot of damage, but again, the survivability is there from Lamb. In jumps 11, gets the stun out onto 2, and Sylar gets locked down. He's got the death pack, but it's not even gonna matter. He just gets focused. cty also arriving at the last minute to pick up an unstoppable streak, and they've got the DK ultimate running. Old Chicken is
They read
fully
the game so well, Basskip. They know that they were coming to kill the DK and they were ready for that to
Dire
happen.
structures are
This is a very good read from EHOME.
Lamb was already sitting there. 11 was waiting over by the rune. He was ready to jump at a moment's notice.
Dire's middle
they-
Yeah, because they knew the Klinks was missing for a long time and they probably figured that he's going to look to be active somewhere on the map and no one is at bottom, so there's a very high chance that Klinks is ganking the mid lane. So very good read by EHOME. Rewards them with a tower as well from that exchange.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
cty's farm is ridiculous. 4.5k net worth on the Queen Pay. Next closest is 3k on the Old Chicken Dragonite. And we're not
He
even
has
10
35
minutes in.
He has 35 CS and he has that net worth.
The Klinks isn't doing that much better. Only 10 extra CS inside. That last death is going to slow him down a little bit. Maybe he was looking for another kill.
Probably.
Avatar's combo is going to drop it onto Kaka. Can't really afford to turn around and keep on running since he would have gotten hit by the Shackle. They don't manage to kill the Shadow Shaman, however. And now DDC is going to get trapped. 11 popping off a Mango to make sure that he can use the cogs. I don't think he even needed to necessarily, but ensures it there. Sylar looking for the kill on Lamb is not level 6, so... just
Oh,
gonna
mid
back
lane
up to his
cty.
team. I think he's got this. He's gonna blink. RTK doesn't have anything. There's an Avatos.
Oh
Blinks over
my
the
God.
top. Beautiful scream. Is this gonna be his escape? There are some wand charges on maybe. Is he fast enough to get the toss? That's the question. 3 seconds. Sylar's gonna cut him off. And cty will finally fall. Wicked 6 streak going to Sylar, and that could be a big leg up to start getting LGD back
Dire
into this game.
structures are fortified.
They do end up losing the Tusk, but well worth it. Sylar gonna reveal his presence here. Team is not really in position to grab anyone just
Chicken
yet.
might get caught.
Maybe he still wants this. He gets the avalanche. Can he get a toss out? No, he's gonna get stunned up. And they've got the cogs and the battery assault. They're gonna throw the clockwork over onto the Dragonite, but he ends up dropping anyway. Just because of the right clicks from the Clink, Sylar keeps laying into this, and they glimpse back Old Chicken. He's now in a whole lot of trouble. 2 more auto attacks will seal the deal, and Sylar. Well, we said that he needed to start moving and to start getting active for his team. And he's definitely doing that right now. But cty, Blink, Scream finds the Invis. Clinks knew that he was probably going to go over and look for a creep and just punishes him for it.
Yeah, and this time he has the only 1 point in Dagger, so he has a lot of points in Blink and Scream early.
He is going for the Yule Scepter build, Winter, so you did call that one out. And,
Yeah, because I realized he's been doing this a lot more often. Even S4 has been doing this a lot more recently. It's against a lot of the games it was against Slada. In this game, it's still quite useful against the Avatars from Tiny, because if you react quickly, you can actually dodge that, and you can remove the silence from NS. And you can dodge Snowball. There's a lot of utility from the Yule Scepter this game.
So, what does this lead into, Winter? I feel like Ags has become increasingly unpopular on Queen of Pain for the last couple of weeks. At least that's the recent trend.
When you start with the Yules, most of the time you see Yules plus Aghanim's. Oh, I hear a glimpse.
Yeah, it's on land, but not into the most compromising position. Still has the borrowed time as well.
Yep. But back to my train of thought, I was mentioning that the
Radiant's
common
middle
build-up you
tower
see
is
nowadays
under
if you go
attack.
Yules is Yules into
Dire's
Aghanim's.
top tower
You rarely
is
see
under
Yules
attack.
into BKB, or sometimes you go Yules into Orchid, but it's very strange.
I definitely agree. So what's your opinion on the Queen of Pain
Dire
Aghanims in
structures
general?
are
Why have we been seeing less
It's
of it?
still
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 good?
really good though, I feel. Yeah, it's still good.
Dire's top tower
Sylar
Oh,
runs
Sylar.
up the hill. He's gonna get dusted.
This
Doesn't
is
have a
not
death
good.
pact. He's really squishy. He's gonna be brought down. That was a really excellently laid trap by EHOME. Just kind of waiting for anyone to come back from the rune. I think no matter who it
Yeah,
is, they get that kill.
They are moving so well though, anticipating the movements and setting up traps,
Dire's
taking
top
better
tower
exchanges.
is under attack. Dire's structures are fortified.
Comes in. Can use
Radiant's
RTK to
bottom
get some
tower
help,
is under
but
attack.
just gonna keep on right-clicking him down. Has another blink. Even has the rank 1 Sonic Grave. I think he'd rather get up to level 2 and save it for a team fight. And with the Dragonite ultimate in the wards,
Radiant
they pretty much got this
structures are
tower
fortified.
100% unlocked.
Dire's top tower is under attack. Dire's top tower has
Too
fallen.
many problems there. Bit of damage
Radiant's
dealt bottom by the
bottom
Tiny,
tower is
but
under attack.
doesn't push nearly as fast as EHOME and won't be able to find the trade.
Yeah, he's not getting the start that he got from the other game, where he got what, an 8-minute or 9-minute dagger. This game his tempo is much slower.
Looking for
silence.
CDY, but he's still got this Yule, so we'll be able to dispel. Needs to be careful that he doesn't drop himself into a stun. Really smart plays. Is gonna
Oh
send
my god, that was
Baby
so
up.
smart. That was so smart.
He was thinking one step ahead. They're gonna send up Sylar. He's still pretty tanky, but the Sonic Wave flies in. cty has that level 2 ultimate now. And Sylar is gonna be brought down. They lose. And the Shadow Shaman in the midst of all of this. MMY gonna keep on running, but cty with one more scream puts him in the grave. Rocket Flare's gonna scout out maybe.
That was so smart. Oh my
Because he
god.
knew, Winter, he knew that if he used himself to dispel the silence, he would just
The
drop
Tiny
into
was
an
there.
avalanche.
He saw the
He
Tiny
knew.
and then he was going to use himself and then he saw the Tiny, then he changed his mind. Oh my god, this guy is so good.
It's the cty co-op. There's a reason that people talk about it, and he's definitely showing it off this game. He is gonna actually
he's
end up
going
going back for the Orchid though.
Yeah, going back for the Orchid. It's very useful against the Things and even the Disruptor and the Tusk. I guess. I mean, it's still a really good choice here. It's just weird that you go use into Orchid.
Yeah, it is a little bit strange. You don't get the extra stats from the Ags, so you're pretty squishy on the whole, but I really like it for the solo pickup potential. I feel like the Sylar, he just walks forward, he doesn't have a death pact. What is he doing? He's gonna get stunned up. It might have been a little bit of a bait, however. Does manage to turn around somewhat. Old Chicken is still tanking through all of this, and he's got some stick charges as well to help keep him up. But EDC's gonna finish him off with the urn, or will he? Lamb still got the heals. They've still got the bottle charge. Another shield's gonna come out along with another miscoil. They lost the clockwork in the midst of all of this. But LGD not getting
Oh my
nearly as
God.
much as they were hoping for
That-
there.
That looked like it was going to be a disaster for LGD, then they turned the fight around.
I mean,
I thought they would be able to get another kill though, at least 2 kills.
you look at the
Dire's
damage
bottom
done by
tower is
LGD in
under
that fight, and
attack.
it looks like they must have at least gotten 2 kills, but the
But
back
Abaddon.
heals. This last pick is doing so much work. EDC's are running in here. They've actually got the blink of the tiny. He's gonna find 2 with the Avatos combo. Old Chicken in some trouble, gets glimpsed a little bit further back. Lamb is gonna try and help keep him alive, and cty now arrives on the scene, trying to decide exactly what he's gonna do here. There's this sting out on the DDC. Actually ends up blocking his own sting with the Eels, but that drops him down into a Dragon Tail. EHOME will still find a kill there, so 1 for 1 on the re-engage.
Radiant's middle
EHOME
tower
still
has
have a
fallen.
little bit, actually quite a bit, of DK ultimate remaining. Oh, in comes Baby, wants his kill into cty. Can they get it? Gets Walrus punched up. Who else can they find here? However, 11 with the hook shot onto the tiny, locks him in place. There is not a Dragon Tail available, so it looks like Tusk is just barely going to escape. Could have maybe popped the 1 charges before the TP, but still lives pretty comfortably. EHOME are not going to get the tower off that remaining DK ultimate.
Haste!
So it was 1 for 1, tiny for queen. I guess it's acceptable for LGD.
Yeah, I mean, gold change ended the streak, got quite a bit of experience. Tusk actually got a ton out of that, and that's almost going to be his completed mech, which is a pretty big deal moving forward. There's a decent amount of AoE damage on EHOME that you are going to be able to negate
Oh,
with that mech.
that is actually huge, right? Because EHOME has no mech.
Yeah. I don't think anyone's going for it. We used to see Clockwork occasionally go for mech, but those days are...
Oh, those
days are a
were
little bit
the
behind us.
really, really old days, dude.
Yeah. They're gonna be able to dust up Silo. Avatar's combo comes in looking for Kaka. Snowball's gonna finish him off, but they're both trapped inside of the wards. They have to fight their way out here. 11 is running forward looking for the battery assault and the cogs to keep them there. And so there's just gonna be a hook forward onto MMY, who does have the glimpse available, and instead he's just gonna stand his ground with the static storm kinetic field to keep on fighting. Maybe comes in with another combo, looks towards Old Chicken, Sylar. The Death Pact wore off, and cty came in the back lines, cleaning him up with the Sonic Wave. Old Chicken's still alive. And Lamb, ever faithful, sticking by his side. They get a toss back with the Yules. He's going to cancel this TP on the Tiny. It looks like he's also going to be falling. Pushed back by the Cogs. It was LGD getting the initiation, but EHOME arrived for the cleanup.
Man, that reactions from the Tiny when they spotted the smoke with the clings. He immediately blinked and he even catch the best target, which is the Shaman, but he couldn't burst him down from full. And he managed to drop his wall. I think that was a very big tide changer in the fight. If they actually killed the Shaman and he didn't do anything, that fight would be really different for LGD.
It's the item build too. We got the casual
The
bracer,
bracer!
we got
Oh
the cloak.
dude, he has a casual cloak. Oh my god, okay.
Yeah. Is he gonna go for Glimmer? Is that the idea? It's kind of an
Yeah,
initiation
possible.
item as well, because you can just Glimmer yourself and run up.
And you don't want to be blinking in so much this game, because their heroes can kill you easily. And if you think about how they want to play their heroes, they're just gonna try and siege towers and you place wards and wait for LGD to come onto you. Unless the Dragon Knight spots an initiation with his dagger. So otherwise, as the Shaman this game, you just want to stay back and keep people alive. So I could see him going for the Glimmer Cape as his first choice instead of the more common blink that we see.
Yeah, and it gives their supports between the two of them so much defensive potential that I feel like it's going to be really difficult to kill cty if they're not really trying at it.
It's gonna be so hard, like maybe even so impossible. If you don't actually silence the Abaddon, it's gonna be so hard. But then even if you silence the Abaddon, he can actually pop his ultimate first, just to remove the silence.
Sylar, is he going to find a courier?
Oh no,
here?
he actually can't.
Radiant's
Oh no,
courier has
I
been
think he
killed.
can't do that. Sorry. If you're silenced, you can't pop your ultimate.
I don't
Yeah,
think you
unless
can do
you
it while
get-
you're silenced. You can do it while you're
You're stunned.
under some
but you cannot
disables.
do it
Yeah, I
while-
think it might just be
Yeah.
stuns. I don't know. I haven't tested it out. It's a cool new mechanic.
Radiant's top
I
tower
haven't really
is
seen
under
put to use
attack.
to.
Yeah, it's the latest mechanic that's being added to him.
Yeah.
You can pop the ultimate willingly anytime.
You could do that before, but just now while you're stunned as well. Yeah, I'm just gonna go into the pit. No concerns in the world. Gonna drop down the wards.
structures are
Have a
fortified.
medallion on
Radiant's top tower is under
Bad.
attack.
LGD gonna find something, so they are gonna grab this tier 1 tower top lane as the exchange.
Roshan
But
has fallen
well, we were
into the
talking
ring.
about it being difficult to kill cty, and now he has an aim. It's
Radiant's
gonna be
top
very
tower
difficult. And
is
it's
under attack.
It's probably pretty futile to honestly focus him
Dyer's
while he still
bottom
has
tower
this.
is under attack.
Oh, they lost their courier with so many items in it just recently.
What did it have?
Oh, okay, wards. It's like what, 2,500 gold in the courier.
I just need to change.
7,500.
I just changed my career hotkey real quick.
It's the orchid plus a ring and a ward.
Oh wow, yeah,
And a smoke.
that was a stacked courier, and a smoke, and 11's almost his first.
Dyer's middle tower is under attack.
Okay, we're gonna see the utility tiny blink for stuff. He realizes that
Dyer's
they
middle
don't really
tower
have much
has
time
fallen.
and space for him to farm. So he has to be doing this and giving more space for the rest of the heroes.
It is extremely helpful against the clockwork to have at least the one force staff. So.
Oh yeah, they don't really have 4 stuff on anyone, right?
No,
Disruptor is getting there,
Yeah,
but
he's working
it's
on
very
it.
far.
it's gonna take a little while. LGD sizing up to potentially take a fight here. I think we need to be careful. Old Chicken still has a lot of his ultimate. He's got a double damage, and he's got the blink. If anyone pokes their head too far forward, this could be a pretty dangerous engagement. Sylar, if they're going to fight, needs to fight early because the Death Pact is starting to wear down already. I feel like the opportunity may have already passed, but LGD looks like they're still interested in trying for something here.
Dyer's
No,
bottom
never
tower
mind.
is under attack. Dyer's
I was-
bottom tower has fallen.
You've got to look at the Dragon Knight with his ulti running and the double damage and just think, no, please, let's not. And they are gonna back up. Sylar forgot to pick up his trash earlier when he ate the. I think he ate the troll from that camp, so he's gonna have to go a little bit deeper to find himself a creep.
Seriously, trash?
I don't know. You gotta clean up after yourself.
I agree. I learned that the hard way because when I was at the house, I had to clean out everything.
Did they give you a hard time, Winter?
No, I just needed to be a good guest, you know.
It's-
Because when you're at home, probably you're more relaxed. You leave your trash for a longer time before you start to realize you need to clean it up.
you know,
But when you're not at your home, you have to do it so people don't complain.
You just want people to have a good impression of you, Winter. I don't think you need to do much for that to happen. cdec.y jumps in. Look for this kill on Sylar. He's going to try for the TP out, but Kaka is close. And this is going to be a very straightforward kill. cdec.y is just snowballing out of control. His Orchid is completed on the courier. He's got.
And he's gonna
point
get his
booster,
Aghanim's.
And he's 500 gold away from an Aghanim Scepter. Oh my word.
I think this is the
What a
team
game.
that I see that runs the safe lane Queen of Pain so successful. They are even much more successful than the old Secret, remember? When they used to run it a lot. Queen of Pain plus Shadow Fiend.
Yeah, and even, especially more than Vici have been running safe lane Quap for burning a decent amount recently, and I feel like it hasn't been nearly as successful as...
We never see it as successful as how EHOME runs it. They always seem to make the better rotations and they get the most all the time with the first Sonic Wave.
And they also, like you were talking about, Winter, when we raised the point during the draft about, it's not just the individual players, but it's also the way that the team builds around it and the way that they move and the way that they set up opportunities for cdec.y to take advantage of. It just feels like the whole team is extremely comfortable playing with cdec.y on the Quap. And it suits because he's off and off split pushing a little bit. He'll turn up a tiny bit late to the fight, but he's always the cleanup crew. And, you know, always finds 3 heroes and half HP and just blows them up. So, it works out really nicely.
He always comes in at the right time, that's about it.
Yeah. Well, that's Ags completed on the courier. Just gonna get delivered in a second. And EHOME continuing to press further and further forward. DK ultimate is ready, and not really a whole lot to wait for here, honestly. If EHOME, Kaka's gonna glimmer cape his way over towards the high ground so they can drop down the wards. In a relatively defensive position, trying to bait LGD into jumping in, and maybe he's actually going to do just that, get silenced up. The Force Staff gets him a little bit further away, but 11 still wants to jump in here and find some kind of initiation. Does not get the cog onto anyone, and Astylo's going to start working away at him, but Old Chicken comes in to assist his ally. Snowball's going to catch onto 2, but Land's still in the middle of all of this. Actually going to get silenced by the Night Stalker, preventing him getting off any further heals or any further shields. They will manage to drop the DK. LGD losing their tier 3 pretty quickly to the wards, but a very successful hold as EHOME charge into the base, but don't manage to find really any kills.
Yeah, they didn't manage to get a kill with the... Like, he wanted the hook shot and he blinked and he blocked the hook shot. So, they could have gotten the kill on the Tiny there, and that might actually allow them to take the Rex. Oh no, he actually has buyback, so probably they kill him and he buys back and they back off. It would still be a win for them, regardless.
Yeah, that was definitely not what they were hoping for. And a pretty crucial silence from DDC as well. I don't know if he would have been able to get the Dragon Knight out, but I think they would have at least 100% secured the tower and maybe minimized losses a little bit.
Oh, good TP.
Out in the fog. Just barely going to escape there. Oh, old Chicken TP bot. There's 3 heroes waiting for him down here. He jumps onto Sylar, but the drop may be coming in. Throws at the Avalanche, they're doing pretty good damage, but old Chicken is just so damn tanky. 11 has the hook to be able to cancel Sylar's TP out. cdec.y realizing that kill is 100% secure. He's going to blink a little bit further forward, and Akaka and Lamb also going to join the fray.
DDC.
Blink, can he get it? No, it just barely gets hexed.
DDC got caught. His
So
TP got
close.
cancelled. Oh no.
And DDC as well. It looked like they were just going to get the easy pick off on the Dragon Knight, but he's too tanky, and now looks like all 3 will end up falling. DDC's going to waste as much time as he possibly can, just kind of running around in circles. He's 100%.
Is the grave.
Oh
Welcome
man.
to the bed of
It wasn't even a bad idea. They saw heroes mid and thought that they'd set up really nicely for whoever TP'd bot, but it just happened to be the Dragon Knight. And they could not.
The tankiest hero of their lineup.
Oh man, and EHOME.
And
looks
this
like they're
this
gonna go
game is
straight to mid.
just slipping away from them very, very quickly. With this Shaman watch, they should be able to secure this side of Rex.
So I jumps in and silence with the disruptor. He's gonna get stunned as well. Sonic Wave just for him. It is an Aghanim Scepter Sonic Wave, so not even the longest cooldown in the world. And cdec.y even playing pretty patient, hanging back, letting old Chicken in the wards go to work. Tyler's gonna re-emerge here, and we'll be able to take down a couple of the
Dire's
wards. But
middle
the
barracks.
damage has already been done. The melee barracks has been claimed, and
Radiant's top tower is
EHOME
under
could-
attack.
they could even back out and be happy, but we'll see what they do. I guess the Dragon Knight needs his BKB delivered pretty badly, and they won't be able to get the BKB and still have some Dragon form left. So they're just.
I mean, they don't have to take any risks, right? Because they're
Yeah,
already
don't
in
rush.
such a good position. And they're not rushing to end the game. Because
Radiant's
LGD is
top
not farm
tower
at
is
all
under
at this
attack.
stage, even though they have the better late game with the Tiny. This Tiny went for a 4-star. The moment you see that, you don't have that sense of urgency to finish the game because Tiny doesn't have Aghanims.
He is still getting, maybe still getting pretty decent farm, but yeah, the scaling is. We're gonna need a bit to really start.
It's just like when you see a Ember starting with Manta instead of Battle Fury, you don't get so intimidated. It's the same reasoning behind that. I mean, it's not like it's bad for him to go for a 4-star, that's not what I'm saying. It's just he's forced into this type of position by EHOME because of the situation of the game.
Salah's gonna run right to the middle of the EHOME lineup here. They're gonna go for Kaka first. Do they have any anti-invis though? The dust comes out, but it might be a little bit too late. One more auto attack from Sylar finishes that kill. On the back lines as well, they will be able to punch up the Clocker and bring him down. Lamb finds himself in the middle of this static storm. Does end up popping his ultimate. DC will be stunned by old Chicken with the Dragon Tail, but doesn't have the ultimate for a little while just yet. Tiny, another Avatos combo comes in. They will be able to bring down the Queen of Pain. That is a huge jump. That is a huge pickoff. DDC's quite low, does need to back up. Nice and safe, but old Chicken's also been grabbed. They get another glimpse. This is going to be a full 5-man wipe. Lamb's trying to find at least one more rebuttal kill.
Oh my
and the
God.
Urn Charge is actually going to take down DDC, but amazing initiation.
Yeah, maybe got a really big key pick off there on the Queen. And EHOME weren't really like together at the start of the fight as well. Like Shaman got focused down, he didn't drop his wards. And the Static Storm was on 2 heroes, I think Shaman plus the Abaddon at the start. And that was just a really good initiation from LGD.
It was great scouting as well from
Radiant's
Sylar. He knew that he had the
bottom tower is under
BKB. He
Oh
knew
yeah,
that,
that too, yeah.
yeah, he knew that he had the
Radiant
BKB and that he
structures
wasn't really under too much risk. And that he had teammates just around the corner to potentially help him out. So he scouts it. They split the fight up with
Okay.
the ice shards.
I got
and
him.
it just goes to work.
Aghanims is online for the Tiny if he wants to. Okay,
Nice.
start off that fight.
I don't think there's anything else that catches your eye if you're the Tiny here. It's definitely going to be the Aghanims, right, Winter?
Yeah, you want to be able to scale into late game because the only way LGD is going to win this is they drag the game out to late game. That's when EHOME's lineup starts to wear down because they have the Shaman, they have Dragon Knight, all these heroes are very early and mid-game centric. So if you drag out the game, they lose their effectiveness.
There's still a couple of power spikes yet to come for EHOME, but this is starting to look a little bit more promising for LGD. And I mean, EHOME
So
have
the
to
next
be
power-
feeling the pressure.
The next power spike will probably be a new item on Queen, maybe an armor item,
DK16,
Shiva.
I think.
Yep. Next Roshan, I guess.
I don't know if that's guaranteed. Is the only thing. I mean, I guess they can drop words, but
Yeah,
even
I agree.
then-
They can still lose a fight there. It's still possible. If they get caught by the tiny Eva toss combo and then it follows up by a snowball or a static storm, they could still lose a fight there.
Sylar, once again, finding information, scattered things out. There are no sentry wards down from EHOME. They're all working on items, and that means LGD are going to be able to pincer them. They come running in. They don't want to run into Lamb first. They're actually going to go for Kaka instead. They burst him down immediately. cdec.y was waiting over in the trees, and in comes the Clockwork with the hook. cdec.y waiting for a good opportunity to unload the ult. He is going to find it onto one, but the Greaves from the Tusk help to keep him alive a little bit longer. As a result, however, he won't be able to dispel the silence. He won't be able to buy any more time. Tyler looking to re-engage. Does not have a death backed up. Still does quite a bit of damage. Maybe, however, got caught out on the back line. Old Chicken grabbing him there. DDC going to keep on fighting, but Old Chicken stands his ground along with the ward. Tyler trying for the TP out, but he won't be able to get it. As the fight splits up, it looks like it is going to be EHOME walking away with the win. Old Chicken's
That-
somewhat awkwardly catching himself in the trees.
That buyback, so key for
Oh,
EHOME.
yeah, wow.
He didn't even hesitate to buy back, you know, immediately he died. He knows that he needs to come back. This is a very, very key fight. If they lost that fight, they would have been kicking themselves in the head. Why didn't they have sentries against
Dire's
Jinx?
bottom tower is under attack.
They had totally zero detection for
Dire's
Invis
structures
heroes
are fortified.
at that fight.
It was just a shame for LGD that they couldn't find one more hero immediately after the Shadow Shaman. If they'd seen a glimpse or something like that, could have been very different. They're gonna jump in now. They blow up one. That's Sylar gone from the Sonic Wave. RTK forced to retreat. Maybe knows that he has to go in and fight right now. But cdec.y is gonna BKB, turns around. He's actually gonna go blinking in even further. Finds the kill on the disruptor. He's still alive in the midst of all of this. As EHOME are pushing LGD back to their fountain.
Dire's
It
bottom
is going to be the second lane of Rags coming up. EHOME will switch focus back. See, and maybe they're the only ones who can fight right now. Clink's still in the hole for 40 seconds, and goes to show how squishy the hero is without a death pact online.
And it's so hard for LGD right now. It's looking very grim for them.
This could very well just be it. I mean, this still a Roshan to potentially claim for EHOME. At this point, they've now got 2 full lanes of Rax, so they can just play the lane control game and
Radiant's
let
top
bottom and
tower
mid
is
just
under
push in.
attack.
Yeah, they are just gonna play safe, secure Roshan and just go. There's no reason for them to rush anything. Because Tiny is not gonna be able to finish another big item in this few minutes. He wants to save for buyback to defend the last Rex. So EHOME will try to
Radiant's
secure the
top
next
tower
rush.
is
I
under
mean, they're
attack.
definitely gonna get it if they do it at the right time. And just push a high ground with the Aegis. And close out the game.
It feels like they need another one of those fights where the Clinks can just open up on multiple heroes. Lamb, I mean, he not even gonna get scratched by that Avatos, really. Heals back up off the mech. Tyler again, scouting the backlines. This time around, EHOME have a sentry ward down, so he's not gonna get lucky twice here. Oh, can't quite reach with the Death Pact. Oh, he's gonna have to go for the little creep instead. That's really unfortunate. But they know that Roshan is what they have to contest right the second the wards have already been dropped down. The Ice Shards misclicks perhaps, not going to head all the way into the pit, and they catch Sylar before he even enters this fight. He's been split off from his team by the Cogs. That's managed to re-engage a little bit, maybe jumps in, but it's just into a Dragon Tail. The Avalanche doing nothing against the BKBs, and they've already brought down Sylar. Kaka engaged in the back lines by RTK, but he doesn't find the kill. It's a double for cdec.y, and this is looking like it should just straight up be the GG. MMY trying to make his escape, but cdec.y continues the pursuit. Will get Clips back, but 11 and the rest of the team ready to find that kill, and that is going to be it. LGD tap out, and EHOME win the series. They are going to be the second team out of the China qualifier, heading to LA for the summer.
Yeah, very, very good series today though. Like, I'm really glad that I actually managed to join you. Like both the teams showed a lot of finesse in this series. But EHOME just got I think the better overall. They were maybe a little bit more flexible in their picks, and they were because they kind of forced LGD to decide what they're gonna give them because they had to choose either to give them the tusk or the queen. I think that's a significant advantage in terms of drafting when you force your opponent to actually ban those two heroes or not give you the two heroes.
Yeah. We even saw it in the reserve time. It feels like every single game. Like there was one game where both teams were very low on reserve time right at the very end, but it felt like it was always LGD who were the ones who were spending like a whole minute at the start of the draft into their reserve time, just thinking about how the first few moves were going to go, but it still kind of ended up favoring EHOME every single time.
Yeah, and by the way, the Abaddon was a really, really good pick here in this game.
Perfect last pick, yeah.
Yeah, did so much work, and it just gave them a lot of the sustain that the lineup was lacking because they needed to be able to push. So when you win a fight, you're probably low on HP, low on mana, and Abaddon was there to give them the mag and the heal and the shield, keeping a few crucial targets alive in team fights. He was a big difference maker.
There were 4 or 5 times especially where it looked like the Dragon Knight was going to get bursted, like especially on bottom lane, and then he just kept on living forever, and at that point for LGD the strafe wears off, the combo is cooling down from Tiny, and they can't finish it, and then Dragon Knight kind of goes to town with the sustained damage. So I think well deserved from EHOME. I'm glad that they're going to be making their way to the summit. That's gonna wrap it up for the China qualifier, guys. It's been great casting for you. It's been great casting with you, Winter. Thank you for joining me today.
You're welcome.
I don't know. I'm feeling frazzled, honestly. It was such a crazy series, and now it's over. So what else is there to say? Don't forget to follow Winter on Twitter at WinterDota, Facebook.com/WinterDota, I believe. Don't forget to give Beyond the Summit a follow as well. If you'd like to follow me, I'm at Basskip. My name's up in the title. Thank you so much for tuning in. I don't know when I'm going to be casting next. Winter, do you have anything on the horizon coming up? I guess the major group stages is maybe the next thing for you, or is there something closer?
Yeah, I think that's the one.
All right.
I don't think I'm doing anything else. Yeah.
Okay, so definitely make sure that you check out Winter for that. Thank you so much, guys, for joining us. It's been a pleasure, and hopefully see you sometime soon.